everything has an effect on like what type of person you become. But I do believe that your sign also has something to do with it.
I'm seeing it more and more, like especially in guys too, is, oh, you're hurt. Oh, you should cry about it. Let your emotions free.
Yeah, some of the guys I've been on dates with, I feel like I'm the man and they're not. I don't think it's a bad thing that it's allowed to kind of like say something without it being like offensive. People need to also be better at communication, because people would much rather run to another friend and be like, oh, she was such a bitch. It's definitely easier for girls to get in everywhere. I have a lot of respect for honesty, and if you're honest with me, I will forgive almost everything. People here are looking for something toxic and not looking for something real. I have very commitment issues as well. Like, I don't like to commit to anything.
You're like, Zach, girls don't like when you play games. I'm like, yes, they do.
They
I
do.
can
Oh, yeah.
promise you 100%. Girls can figure out clues like crazy.
If a guy hits a woman, then he's a wife beater. But if a woman hits a guy, then she's brave. She's standing up for herself. And I don't agree with that. Women has a tendency of mentally abusing guys.
Did you break up with him? Did he break up with you?
Well, he ended up sleeping with my best friend Norway, so.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you guys with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans. Today in the building, we got Martha, very special guest. First of all, thanks for listeners. You guys have been great lately. We've been really blowing up on social media and engagement and everything like that. So keep liking, sharing, and commenting. Why don't you go ahead, Martha, tell everybody, introduce yourself, tell everybody what you're doing in LA, and how about your star sign?
So yes, my name is Martha. I go by Lala. I'm from Norway, and I'm an international student here in LA. And my star sign is Virgo.
Ooh, that's the same as my co-host. He's not with us, but he's very Virgo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How?
Super logical. He has spreadsheets for everything.
I love that.
Yeah, like we'll like go to dinner and then he'll just be like, oh, let me just get in my credit card. And then he goes back and like he has a spreadsheet and he just dials everything in and how much tax and tip. And then like, I'm just like, all right, just throw in your cards, everybody. You know, like all the guys in the group, and it's just like easy. He's like, I got it like dialed in. Very Virgo.
Sounds like a Virgo. Yeah. I don't know too much about astrology, but I know a little bit more about Virgos than any other signs. Yeah.
So you don't believe in astrology?
Oh, I do. I definitely do. I just don't know too much about it. I recently started like getting into it. I've never been like against it and not been like a believer, but I haven't really put in like any time into like reading about it or like thinking about like, will I get along with this person because they're that specific sign? But after moving here, I'm definitely more into it.
Would you consider yourself, you believe it from a literal standpoint, or more you think there's some truth to it, or more you think it's just fun?
Well, I downloaded like a few apps that my friends
did too. The
Yep.
Co-Star. Did you get Co-Star?
Yes, that one. And when I started reading, I was like, how do they know this about me? And the things that I didn't really agree with, my friends were like, no, it's true. You just don't want to admit it to yourself.
See, that's what people say. Okay, my stance on horoscopes, I think they're very fun. I love them in conversation at parties. It's so much better than, oh, so why did you want to become a nurse? You know what I mean? It's just like so boring compared to like, oh, what's your sign? Oh, you're a Virgo. That's interesting. You're like this, blah, 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 your personality.
Yeah.
But I don't really like base life decisions on like star signs. Ever.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should base life decision on it, because I also believe that a lot of like who you are as a person and like how you act also comes from like your childhood and like your upbringing. I think everything has an effect on like what type of person you become. But I do believe that your sign also has something to do with it, but it's a mix of your sign and also like how you were brought up and like what you've experienced in your life and stuff like that.
Do you think, let me ask you this, because I've had experience with this, because I'm not a believer in star signs, but there are certain signs that I do connect with more, and there's certain signs that I'm just fucking toxic with.
Okay.
Every time. Roller coaster. Just fucking, it's amazing. Then it's fucking down here. Then it's like crazy ups and downs relationship. Do you have that with any signs?
Yes. Or like when I've dated, I've tried to like see the compatibility. And I'm not sure if it was Gemini that it said that I didn't get along with, and like I just read about like their personality. I think it was Gemini, I'm not gonna say for sure, but everything was like so correct of why I would not like this person. Like very needy, very
two-faced liars. Yeah.
yeah, that too. But also like it was just like too much emotions, and like because Virgos, we are very emotional, but like we like to keep it to ourselves.
I thought Virgos were like, I don't have emotions, I'm like a robot.
We're private, but we do. Like I think Virgos is one of the most caring signs. We just like, we rarely give it away. Like we have those people that we show it to and like give our love to, but yeah, we like to keep it kind of private. And I personally can get uncomfortable if people are too emotional, and if they open up too fast, I'll be like, ugh, just stop, like this is uncomfortable. Yeah. So yeah, I've noticed like being on dates, if that they are like too emotional, and I look up their sign and I'm like, okay, makes sense. And then there's Capricorns, which I do really get along with. I think after like what I was reading, it kind of makes sense with them also being like workaholics, very strong-minded, and like having strong opinions, but also like being open to like other suggestions. So yeah.
So you said something interesting. You said if guys are too emotional on a date, it kind of like turns you off. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're yeah, especially if they're too open, like too fast, like first date, don't tell me about your childhood trauma. I don't want to know that. I don't know you. That will make me want to run out the door. Like I don't want to listen to that.
Maybe they're trying to trauma bond with you.
Maybe. Yeah. But it's like, I'm not going to share my trauma. Because like, no, it's going to take you it's going to take you a few years before I start doing that. So yeah, that makes me very uncomfortable. And I can be very direct sometimes and be like, okay, can you stop? Like, this is making me uncomfortable right now.
You actually say that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm very direct.
It's very interesting because my dad is extremely old school. Mm-hmm. Right? My dad is very much, good thing you're tough. Like, oh, you have a boo-boo, go fucking rub some dirt on it, go play outside, you'll be fine, you know. But nowadays the trend, and I'm seeing it more and more, like, especially in guys too, is, oh, you're hurt, oh, you should cry about it, let your emotions free.
Yeah.
But go to therapy, do all this stuff, meditation. And I'm like, most of y'all just need to man up.
I agree. My dad is the same way. Like, and I have two older brothers. I'm the youngest, only girl. Mm-hmm. And my dad, he was tough. He raised us to like be strong and like not cry about everything. So that's something I have noticed, especially here in LA, is that I feel like with some of the guys I've been on dates with, I feel like I'm the man and they're not, because they're very like you said, like they need to man up. So yeah, but I do think that guys should be able to like be open about their feelings, and because everyone has them and you are entitled to have your own feelings and like to feel the way you do, but go to a therapist, talk to her or him about your emotions. You don't have to say it out loud in front of people you don't know. Like obviously you need to talk about it, so go to a therapist that can actually help you deal with your traumas professionally, and don't just yell out like random traumas you've been through throughout your life to random people you don't know. Like, no. So yeah, that's my opinion about it.
It's just refreshing to hear that, because I've just heard so much where it's like, I understand if it's real trauma. If you went to fucking war and every day your camp is getting bombed and you don't know if you're going to go back home to your wife and kids.
Yeah. And
then like your best friend dies right next to you from a stray bullet. Like that's trauma. If you got to go to therapy after that, you come back, you have PTSD. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like most people nowadays is just like, yeah, my mom was mean to me when I was little, or like.
People are very sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Very sensitive. It like, I'm from Norway and we can be harsh. Like,
I thought y'all were sensitive. Sweden, no, Norway, just everybody's nice. Everybody's sweet.
I don't know if it's like the city I'm from or like the friends that I grew up with, but like we roast each other. Like everything we say to each other, if I said that to people here, they would be like, you can't say that. Like, what is wrong with you? Like here, I feel like I have to be so careful with what I say. Like if I ask someone like, are you dumb? Like that's such a bad thing to say here. But like where I'm from, like we say that as a fun, like it's not mean because you say to someone you know, and it's just like if they do something stupid, like you ask them, are you dumb? But it's funny, like here, and when I moved here, I kept being told, like, you can't say that, like, you can't, that's so rude, like, you're being mean. And I'm like, holy shit, I can't fucking say anything here. I have to be so careful. So I do feel like, I don't know if it's LA or the United States, but they're definitely more sensitive than what we are in Norway.
Yeah, it's because, okay, when I was growing up, if you got like last place in the basketball tournament when you were 5, right?
Yeah.
Everybody trolled you and trashed you and made fun of you. Okay, maybe sometimes you go home, you cry a couple times, and then you build toughness and you realize it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to live through this, live to fight another day. Then you win the next year because you're motivated, and then you talk trash to the next people, and then you bond, you know?
Exactly. And I also feel like if you don't like deal with anything, like everyone is just being like super careful around you, like your whole upbringing, like your teenage years, then like when you go into the real world with the real job, people are not gonna sugarcoat it. They're gonna yell at you if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you have no toughness built up because everyone was being so careful around you. Like I don't know how like it's going to be with the younger generation in the future if it keeps going like this, because like the older generation is most likely going to be their bosses, and they're used to like saying exactly what's on their mind and like being tough. And how are they going to survive their professional work life?
I don't know. It's going to be bad. Because, I mean, that's true. It's like, yeah, you get last place in the basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, not a big deal. But then if you never teach them those skills of dealing with emotions, you get last place in life.
Yeah.
You get fired. And now you have no money. And now you have real anxiety because you have no money.
Depression.
You can't deal with like the stress of like getting a new job.
Yeah. You know? That's something I'm not like concerned about it, but I have thought about it. Like, how is that going to be? Because if you don't learn to like take critique, and like if everything is offensive, like how's the world gonna turn out?
I don't know.
For me, I grew up with having toughness and like having friends like roast me, and I'm fine. Like I moved to LA by myself. Like I can still take care of myself. I'm fine. I don't think it's a bad thing that it's allowed to kind of like say something without it being like offensive.
Well, the thing too is like, especially for guys, and I think girls do it to some extent too, but like my best friends, like the way I know if somebody's my boy as opposed to just like, oh, my friend, outer circle friend, is if I can like make fun of somebody knowing that we're still going to be cool after it. Yeah. That's how I know when someone's really my boy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's like my barometer. And so one thing that happens is sometimes I'll meet somebody's, a friend. We start getting like closer as friends. And then like I'll make fun of them. And I can tell it kind of hurts them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to be a bully. So
yeah.
then I kind of stop making fun of them. But then like we miss out on this like bonding moment. And I think it's really hard for those people to develop really strong friends with their like guy friends because they're been taught to be so sensitive. So like ironically, teaching people, oh, don't be bullies growing up. And I get it. Don't like, shove a kid's head into the toilet. Yeah. Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, if nobody makes fun of you, like you never develop that banter that like is used to develop like real relationships later in life.
I totally agree. I agree with that. It's funny because when I speak with my Norwegian friends, Americans usually react and they're like, it sounds like you guys are like yelling at each other, like being super mean. We're like, no, that's just the way we talk. It's weird. But I have some friends here that are Americans that I can like actually say stuff to without them being offended. And it's like you say, like, I know, like, those are like my real good friends, because they won't like be super offended and not say anything, because I think that's very important too. Because I know with myself, I'm very open to like critique. If I say something that offends you, you can always come to me. You can always tell me that specific thing I said offended you, and I will apologize. Because if I hurt your feelings, that's your feelings, and I cannot say no, your feelings aren't hurt. Mm-hmm. So I will apologize. I just think that people need to also be better at communication, because people would much rather run to another friend and be like, oh, she was such a bitch. Like, she said this and that. It's like, that doesn't solve anything. Come to me and we can talk about it, and I can apologize. So yeah, people need to toughen up and actually be able to like say something, because if you're not able to say something, how are you going to ever stand up for yourself? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So how long you been in LA?
This time around, almost 2 years now.
Okay. And how is it making girlfriends here?
Oh, wow.
Is it difficult? Do you have a lot? Are most of your friends Norwegian?
Not all of them. Okay. So I would much rather have one really good friend than 5
fake friends.
Yeah. I do have some really good friends, some Norwegians. Probably my closest friend here, she is Norwegian. 2 others that I'm very close with, they are Americans. And some other friends that I have that I trust them, but it's not someone I hang out with every day, because we have our lives, we're busy. Mm-hmm. But I know I can trust them, and some of them are Norwegians, and I have one really good friend that's Mexican.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's a little bit mixed.
The reason I ask is, I don't know, it must be a lot more difficult making friends as a girl, because I've had guy friends, like, I moved here 6.5 years ago. I met like my main core of guy friends pretty much in that first year. And then we added a couple later on, but I'm still friends with all the same guys from like day one.
Yeah.
Every time I meet girls here, I'm like, oh, who's your best friend? Oh, my friend Ashley. Oh, how long you guys known each other? We met 2 weeks ago at a party. I'm like, your best friend you met 2 weeks ago? And then, oh, we met 3 months ago at this thing. And it's just like, girls out here just cycle friends. It's crazy.
I know. That's why I'm like, maybe not fake friends, but 50% friends. The friends that you party with.
Yeah.
And the friends that you can sit at home, watch a movie on a Saturday night, and just have a glass of wine and just talk and chill. Those are the real friends. And then you have the party friends that are 50% there for you, because they're only there when it's fun. Mm-hmm. When you want to go party, that's like, those people, I don't really consider them friends. It's my party friends, people I go out with.
Yeah.
But they're not close to me. I don't trust them with anything, because there's a lot of those. And if I go out, then yes, some girls would be like, oh my God, I love you. Like, you're so amazing. We have to hang out. And the next time they text me is when they're going out again.
Yeah.
Not like free time. And if I really like someone that I meet when I go out, and I'm like, I really vibe with this girl, I want to hang out with her, then I will actually text her the next day and be like, hi, should we meet up for lunch or something? And I would say 95% of the time, they're like, sure, but it never happens.
Yeah. It's sure. Okay, how about tomorrow at 1 p.m.? Oh, I can't. But not like, oh, I can't. Let's do it on Friday. It's just, no, I can't.
It's just, I'm a little bit busy, but let's go out this weekend. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
this
here we go again.
Yeah, it's hard. But I've met some good friends while going out. One of my closest friends, one of the American ones, her I met when I went out. I actually met her at a festival at EDC. That's where I met her. So, and we're very close friends. So yeah,
nice.
It's possible. Don't give up, people. It's possible.
Just got to churn through like 25 girls to find the one.
Yep, maybe 50 to find the one, but yeah.
Yeah, and especially in West Hollywood scene. I mean, it's like the most. To me, it's like playing the video game on hard mode, right?
Yeah.
You know, you play video games, you choose like at the beginning, it's like easy, medium, hard.
Yeah.
And then there's like challenge mode. It's like LA's like fucking
Oh, yeah.
There's,
100%.
Fucking narcissists, fuckboys, OnlyFans scene, sugar daddies, fucking fake people, climbers. Like you gotta like wade through the waters and like figure out everything.
Yep. It's a tough life here.
Yeah.
But what can we do? We choose to stay here, so...
I love it. I love the challenge of it. I think it's... I've become so great at reading people and navigating bullshit. And, man, when I first moved here, I cannot tell you how many times some guy, especially once they found out like I had money, would come up to me and try to get me to invest in his business.
Oh, I can
And it was
imagine.
always one of three things, every single time. It's either a cannabis company that didn't exist, like you go to their website, there's like the words are spelled wrong on their website, or it's like a Bitcoin crypto app little thing that like doesn't exist either, and they're gonna rug pull people.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those like multi-level marketing schemes where they're so convinced of it. I'm like, I don't know if you're trying to fuck me over or if you just got bullshitted so hard that you really believe this is a legitimate business.
Yeah.
You know?
I can imagine. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the girls that I met here that like moved here from a different state or like a different country usually like say that the first year was definitely the toughest because they didn't have like anyone they could hang out with like without like going out, and it can become very lonely, and it's such a toxic environment when you feel like you have to go out every night to like be social because during the day no one wants to hang out with you. And yeah, like we discussed, it can be very difficult to find good friends here. But I feel like after a while, once you kind of find your people and figure out like where to go and like where to find the people that you get along with and maybe have the same interests as you, then like it's a really fun place to live, LA, when you have like your friends and everything set up for you.
The reason I like LA better than... So there's LA, Miami, New York, if you're going to live in like a big city for the most part in the US.
Yeah.
Miami, which is my second favorite. Miami is very concerned about money, right? If you're the guy with the like top-down convertible and you have a giant gold chain, like you're the shit in Miami, right? New York is all about like who your parents are and where you went to school. Like, oh, I went to Harvard and my dad donated to the library of blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm the shit. I wear little polos and blazers and I have like this very... I hate the fashion in New York for guys. It's just very like, you have to dress up everywhere you go. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
And LA is the only one where it's about like, yeah, it is fake. Yeah, it is social climbing. But it's like, if you're talented, you're the shit. If you're the best actor, you're the best singer, and you built your own following. And it doesn't matter if you used to be a janitor 5 years ago, but now like you proved yourself in the music industry.
Yeah.
Like then you're the shit in LA, right?
Yeah.
And LA is also one where like you have to build into the scene. Like you don't have to as much. You're a hot girl. You can kind of just walk up and get in anywhere for free, right? But like as a guy, like you have to like work your fucking way in and like network and get to know these people and maybe spend money on a bottle when you first start out so you can like make your connections. So it's like some random fucking tourist from Tulsa can't just come in and go to the same place as I can. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, buddy, you got to work your way in too. If you're just a tourist, like you can go into this place, but you don't even know where the best places are, you know?
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier for girls to get in everywhere.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I remember the first time I came here, it was on vacation, and it was so different from what I was used to back home.
Is there like clubs and bottle service and everything back home or no?
Not exactly. Maybe they started with that in Oslo, from a small city, so not at all. Doesn't exist. Doesn't matter who you are, like you still have to stand in line. And during the winter, during the fall, when it's raining like crazy, you still have to stay outside in the line if you're a girl or a boy.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So when I came here, I was like, wow, I feel special. I love this place. This place loves me.
You're like, they treat me
I was
way
like
better
low-key
here.
starting to become a narcissist.
You're like, now I realize why there's so many narcissists, sociopaths in LA. You're like, I'm turning into one.
I'm like, I love myself now.
Have you ever dated a narcissist or a sociopath?
Yes, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Well, I met him one of the first time I came here, and yeah, he asked me to hang out. We started hanging out and started dating, and he was just very unique. He never really cared anything about me. I thought, because I hadn't really liked someone that much before, he was the first person I really liked. So he would get extremely jealous. Like if someone talked to me, he would almost beat them up. And for me, I was like, whoa, he would fight for me. He must really like me. But no, it was just him proving that I was an object that he owned, and like no one could take that away from him. If I was going through something, he wouldn't be there for me. And whenever he needed help, needed money or anything, like then he would like be there for me, like ask
to get
how
what he
you been,
wanted.
yeah, and kind of try to manipulate me to like, yeah, get whatever he wanted. So yeah.
So what was it in the first place that made you, because you said he's the first guy you really, really liked.
Yeah.
What was it about him that made you like?
His confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wasn't my type at all. He was shorter than me.
No way.
Yeah, he was super skinny, and like not my type at all. But just the way he carried himself and like his confidence, but that's probably because he's a fucking narcissist. So, and he just had a very unique personality that like I found very interesting, and I just felt very drawn to his personality. So yeah.
And so what ended up happening? Did you break up with him? Did he break up with you? Did somebody cheat?
Well, he ended up sleeping with my best friend from Norway, so
That's the worst.
yeah.
That's the worst.
I moved to California in 2019, first time, and I was moving to Santa Barbara, but I stayed in LA for 2 weeks before I went to Santa Barbara, and the morning after I moved here, that's when he told me.
And it was when you were away? That's when it happened? Mm-hmm. How close were you with your friend? Was it one of your close friends?
One of my closest.
Were you more mad at him or were you more mad at your friend?
At first, I wasn't really that mad because I think I was in a honeymoon phase with like finally moving here and being super happy. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of respect for honesty. And if you're honest with me, I will forgive almost everything. I didn't exactly forgive him for that, but I wasn't as mad at him because he was honest, and she had the whole summer before I moved to tell me, and so many opportunities where we had like nights where we would like talk about stuff, and she just pretended to be my friend. Mm-hmm. So that hurt me definitely the most, that she would betray me that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with her?
No, none of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut them both out.
Cut them off.
Yeah, I'm glad that it happened, because if not, I would have invested more time with them and some shit would have happened sooner or later. So at least they saved me from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's interesting because most girls I talk to have dated at least one narcissist or sociopath. In fact, most girls, it's like, yeah, all my exes are narcissists. Like most, and I'm like...
Well, that's easy to say.
What do you mean?
It's easy to say that someone that you've dated is a narcissist.
Oh, you think they're lying, you're saying?
I think a lot of girls, might say that to feel better. Because when I've seen friends of mine that are dating, mm-hmm. how they act, and they call him a narcissist. It's like, have you looked in the mirror? Like, do you see how you act? Like, you're not much better. You do the exact same toxic things. Like, you only care about yourself the same way as he does. Like, and that just because he did that does not mean that he's a narcissist. He might have narcissistic tendencies, but being a narcissist is something else.
Yeah, sometimes girls are delusional about this. I had one of my friends. She was like dating this guy. They were like exclusive, but they didn't have a title, right? And she was always like, yeah, I think he's hooking up with other girls. And she had all these like little like clues. Like she was like, oh, there's dog food at his house. He doesn't have a dog. Maybe a girl brought a dog over. And then he was saying, no, like my ex had a dog, like, and we used to live together, and the dog food was just still in the closet, and I just never threw it away because I'm not going to throw away good dog food, whatever. You know what I mean? So she has all these suspicions, and then all of a sudden I find out later on, she's like, oh, I hooked up with this one guy. I'm like, wait, I thought you were exclusive with this other guy. And she's like, oh yeah, but he's probably hooking up with other girls. I'm like, probably? So you're just going to go off your hunch and you're like Sherlock Holmes clues and then fuck it, I'm just going to cheat now, you know? And it's so like indicative of LA culture and what people do.
Oh,
Everybody has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like, have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie?
Oh yeah.
Where they're like, they don't really trust each other, but they pretend to be in love, but they're both trying to like murder each other secretly. It's like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I honestly, I do hate dating in LA. I feel like people here are looking for something toxic and not looking for something real. And with my generation and the younger generation, I think it's going to be such a problem finding actual true love, because I feel like we all are chasing the toxic relationship, and we get a thrill out of not getting a text back or like the drama of it. And the second like you meet someone that's actually nice and like treats you right, it becomes boring because it's not what you're used to. It's not like how people you've been dating before have acted. So when guys are actually being sincere and like wanting to have a serious relationship, girls will run. They will be like, no, this is so boring. Like there's no excitement, because they missed the adrenaline rush from the toxicness that they so much hate, but apparently they don't hate it that much because that's what they keep going after. And it's like so many of my friends will say like, why can I not find a guy? Like I would be the perfect wifey. Like I cook, I clean, I would take care of him. But then again, how many guys aren't sitting at home saying, I'm the perfect gentleman, I will buy her roses, like I will pay every dinner date we go on, like I will take care of her. But the girls run away when a guy is being
that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's fucked up how it's becoming. And if we don't realize that something that's boring is actually safe, that's something you can settle down with, then like, are we ever gonna be able to find real relationships in the future if it's gonna keep going this way where we keep going after the toxicness? It's, yeah, I know with myself, I react the same way. I would be like, oh, this is getting too serious. Like, what? There's no excitement. And I hate that. I'm trying to change that about myself. And for me, I have very commitment issues as well. Like, I don't like to commit to anything. I like my freedom because I've always been single. So I'm too independent to like be willing to give that up for anyone. And every time I'm like dating someone that's actually really nice and treats me right, I will kind of panic and be like, what if he starts expecting me to like not hang out with my friends? If he tries to like tell me to not go out, like I've always been able to do whatever I want to do. Like if I want to move somewhere, I'll move somewhere. And with a partner, I can't do that. And like that gives me such like, not anxiety, but like I will be like, no, I can't, and I'll ghost him.
Yeah, I think they call that commitment issues.
Yep. It's so, I'm trying my best to change that because I wish I was able to like just stick with it a little bit longer and see how this might turn out, because it's been like guys I've actually really liked, but just because of that I'm like, no, I can't. But if it's someone that's toxic and purposely will leave me on red and then respond like the day after, like I notice that they play games with me, I think it's that thought that like all the way back in my mind, I know it's never going to become something because of the way this person is acting. So it
doesn't scare you.
Yeah. So that's why I keep on kind of chasing it, because I know it's never going to become something that's going to hold me back or like set rules for what I can do and not do, because it's never going to become something serious. And I don't want that to be my future at all. But yeah, that's the world we live in. And I think us as humans have a responsibility to kind of change that again and like start actually being comfortable with nice people and not keep on chasing the toxic, and actually caring about others.
Yeah, I tell those girls all the time, and I always get in arguments with them because I have a lot of female friends because I work in the modeling industry. I do some stuff and like the influencer kind of space, and sometimes I'll be talking about some girl I'm like seeing or whatever, and I'm like playing some kind of games, and they're like, Zach, girls don't like when you play games. I'm like, yes, they do. I can promise you 100% that you... And look, I wish I didn't have to play games. That shit is annoying. It's like, I gotta fucking like, let's like track, when did I text them last? When did I text, I'm like looking at the numbers. I'm like doing the math in the head. You know what I mean? It's like, I wish I could just be like, hey, I like you. Let's hang out. It would be great. Just be a good little simp. Just run around with my simp friends, riding bird scooters around town with my little helmets. Brr, you know, like that'd be a great life.
Right?
But I can't do it. I have to have fuckboy tendencies, you know?
Yep. That's sad. It shouldn't be like that. We should be able to fall in love and like be comfortable with someone without having to play games all the time. Because also like, if I'm not interested enough in someone and they do play games with me, I will not even bother. That's also a thing.
So you have to be interested first.
Kind of, because I'm so like both ways with this, because I do want someone nice, but I prefer them to be like that, like super nice, but I just get scared and I back off. There are, I would say, 1 out of 20 where I will play along with the games. The rest, I'm like, no, I'm out. Like, this is not, I'm wasting my time. I don't have time for this. So, but I know, like, a lot of girls, that's the only thing they want. Like, guys that will play games and not someone that's, like, boring.
And here's the thing. Like, I've seen both ends of the spectrum because I started off mega simp. I was like, my parents were super religious, taught me be very polite to every girl, like, but like too polite, like to the point where it's like cringe polite, you know? So I was like huge simp. You see every movie out there, you know, every movie it's like, there's like the jock, masculine guy, and they just make him into the biggest asshole. Like he's just fucking pushing the wheelchair kid down the stairs. And you're like, okay, that guy's an asshole. Don't be like that guy, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like the little simp guy who's like, I'm so emotional. And then like the girl ends up liking him at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But in real life, the girl likes the jock guy who's not that big of an asshole. And the guy that's just crying all the time is the guy that gets friend zoned. You know what I mean? And that kept happening to me. I remember I got friend zoned so many times. I got probably friend zoned like 10, 15, because this was when Tinder was like first coming out, so I was like on the app all the time.
Yeah.
I got friend zoned so many times, and like every girl, same thing. Yeah, you're a great guy. You would be perfect for anybody, just not for me.
Yeah.
And then I remember I started thinking like, you said I would be perfect for any girl. You're a girl. Fucking date me. What are you talking about? You know?
Exactly.
And then I got so jaded from that. I was like, fuck that. And then it went complete other direction. Just biggest fuckboy, just fucking gaslighting, shirtless selfies in the mirror, like fucking get a car where the doors go like up instead of sideways, you know, like a poor person car, just so I could like fuck everybody, you know what I mean? Well, that's the thing, you see, you know, my mom when I was growing up, she said, Zach, you know, I don't care what you want to do in life, but like, I just want you to give 100% to whatever you want to do. So I wanted to make sure I was giving 100% to be a really good narcissist, sociopath fuckboy and just really put my all into it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I see amateur fuckboys. It's like they're taking like shirtless selfies at like LA Fitness with bad lighting.
Yeah.
And, like, go to Equinox, like a real narcissist. Not Equinox, Culver City. I'm talking like West Hollywood, maybe Beverly Hills if you're over the age of 40, you know? But like, don't take LA Fitness. Like, you're not a true narcissist, you know?
Yeah.
So then I swung that way, and now I kind of peeled back, and now I'm kind of a little bit in the middle.
Yeah.
But I recognize that you do have to play games to some extent.
That's the awful truth. You have to. But I hope that as we get older that we kind of don't want to play those games anymore, and that we actually find it more attractive to find someone that's like got their shit together, that isn't out talking to 10 girls in one night, or like a girl that talks to multiple guys, because girls are just as bad as guys.
Oh, I'm sure. They're just more secret.
We're
Guys
just better at hiding
it.
Like, we are much better at hiding it. Yes.
Guys will like cheat on their girl, brag to all their guy friends, and then their girl like finds out, and he's like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "You told everybody. Like, you were like telling it at a party. Like, what do you mean?"
Yeah.
You know?
And also, I don't know. I feel like girls can tell, because if you've done something wrong, like, unless you're true as narcissist, like, you won't feel bad. But you know when you've done something wrong, so you're gonna act a little bit different, and girls pick up on that shit because we notice small details. So if you're suddenly more nervous, or like you turn your phone away suddenly, like, or if a guy starts being concerned if the girl is cheating out of nowhere, then like, why would you suddenly start being concerned about this? Obviously it's because you knew that you were capable of doing this, so then you think that I can be capable of doing the same. So guys, they sometimes give themselves up. Like, they don't even have to tell anyone. They will show it with their body language.
Yeah, girls can figure out clues like crazy.
Yeah.
I had this one time, I had this girl, she got super mad at me because I bought her flowers, and she blocked me on all platforms.
What?
Okay, this was back in my like... This was back in like my full fuckboy days, right? Where I was like fully fuckboy. So I was seeing this girl. We weren't exclusive, to be fair, right? Like, we never had that conversation, so it's like fair game.
But still, flowers.
But so we start hanging out a lot, 3-4 times a week. She's coming over. So at one point she's like, "Zach, you never do anything nice for me. You never get me flowers. You never like take me to like romantic dates and blah, blah, blah." And normally I don't listen to girls' advice because it always like backfires on me. But my stupid little brain was like, okay, maybe this time is different. Yeah, let me do something nice for her, right? So I go on this website, and it's one of these like flowers delivery services, right? So they deliver to their doorstep. They open the door. They're so surprised. "Oh my God, he got me flowers." It's like one of those. I'm about to hit checkout. And if I would have just hit checkout, everything would have worked out. But right before, boop, this little like pop-up comes on the screen. And it's like, wait, before you check out, buy one, get one 50% off. So I didn't want to waste a discount. So I bought 2 flowers, sent one to the girl, and then sent the other one to this other girl that I seen. So in my head, girls like flowers. I'm giving more girls flowers. I'm spreading joy throughout the universe. I consider myself somewhat of a philanthropist at this point, right? Next day, everything's fine. "Thank you for the flowers." "Yeah, thank you for the flowers." Everybody's happy. All parties, right? Then I'm driving home. I just got the car where the doors go like this, right? And it has this stupid feature where it Bluetooths your phone to the screen. And you can use it for like music. But all of a sudden, it was like, boop. And it was like, "New text message from girl number 2. On the fucking screen. And it didn't say the message, though. It just said her name on there.
Oh, no.
She's like, "Who the fuck is that?" Blah, 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 blah. So now she's like super suspicious, right? So that night, 4 a.m. in the morning, right? I'm fast asleep. I get woken up. "Fuck you. You were fucking this girl. You bought her flowers too on the same day you bought me flowers."
Of course, it's not special anymore. That's so funny. Oh my God.
But here's the crazier part. So I looked up. She found out because she like hacked into my phone or whatever. But then she turns around with her phone. She takes a picture of me in the bed, like no shirt and everything. And she finds the girl on Instagram and DMs her the picture of me and then some long ass message. And then she blocked me on all platforms. And I will never get girls flowers again because that shit backfires.
Okay, get girls flowers.
That's what I did.
But do it, but one at a time.
You said get girls flowers. You mean get girl flowers.
Get one girl some flowers, and then another time you get the second girl some flowers.
Don't space it out.
Yes,
space it
out because we could check receipts. We can There's so many ways you can get caught by purchasing in one order. Like if we imagine if they got the receipt and it says that it's 2 deliveries, then like.
I never thought of that. One? That's actually smart, though. I should look into that. You know what actually I do like using flowers for?
What?
Is I have this little trick like a clever trick to figure out if the girl you're seeing is seeing other dudes?
How?
Okay, so again, you go to flower delivery website, send her flowers, but for the tag, instead of putting from Zach, you put from smiley face. That's it.
Oh.
So when they get the flowers, if they call you the next day, oh my God, thanks for the flowers, they're only seeing you. If they don't mention anything, that means they don't know which dude got them flowers, and they don't want to say anything because they're going to out themselves.
So, no. The thing is, if that happened to me and I was seeing, let's say, 3 guys, I would text all of them.
Okay, so then...
Because if the other one, like the 2 others that didn't send it, then they're going to be like, who is sending my girls flowers?
But then what are you going to say? Are you going to be like...
I don't know. It's a smiley face.
I don't know. It must be some secret admirer. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. Maybe some creeper.
Maybe you should buy me flowers then, since it wasn't from you. I was so excited.
See, it only works on dumb girls. It doesn't work on smart girls.
I would use that for my games.
It's a great strategy. Mm-hmm. You could use it on guys, not with flowers. Maybe buy them some candy or something.
Some candy.
Yeah. Buy them some beef jerky, mad shit, you know?
Yes, some beer.
It's the games out here are crazy. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it truly is.
So, what do you think about chivalry? You like chivalry then?
Chivalry?
Chivalry.
What's that?
You know, open the door for the girl.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like that. It depends, kind of, who you are. If you don't do it like in an awkward way, but like you just have the confidence to like be a gentleman, then I do like it.
What do you mean in an awkward way?
Like, if you
don't... Like you open the door, he hits your head on the door or something?
No. Let's say that you are not a dominant person. Like, I have to make all the decisions. Then don't fucking open my door. I can open it myself.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. But if you are because it's probably Virgo in me. I can be very dominant. Like, if my partner is not dominant, I will become very dominant. I like someone that can take charge and like not tell me what to do, because I love having my own opinions, but I like someone that isn't afraid to take charge. But if you're scared of that and like you're literally a little bitch boy that does everything I tell you, then it's not gonna be sexy when you open the door, because I know you do it because you're scared I might yell at you if you don't. I
see. So it comes from a place of fear. Oh, please, let me do everything for you, please. Oh,
yeah, or just being a simp.
Yeah.
But it's because like because I'm very dominant, and I don't know if this can also be because I grew up with brothers. Mm-hmm. I need someone that's very masculine to kind of bring out my feminine side, because if you're not, I will feel like I'm more masculine than you, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. So I've seen so many girls get almost like tricked by chivalry. Like, okay, I'm very chivalrous. My dad is very old school, like I was saying before. He taught me, open the door. You know, if you're walking on the sidewalk, walk on the outside of the sidewalk. So if a car is coming, I can stop the car with one hand and protect my girl, If it's a Prius,
If it's a Prius, yes.
G-Wagon, obviously, use the girl as a human shield.
You cannot stop a G-Wagon? Wow.
What kind of fucking simp are you?
Not good enough.
But the problem with chivalry is it's been commandeered and stolen by losers who use it to like still be a loser and have girls like, I can't tell you how many girls, oh, Zach, he opened the door for me. I'm like, and he plays video games for 8 hours a day in his mom's basement. Like, oh, but he did this? Watch.
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to be flying middle seat on Spirit the rest of your life with this motherfucking dude. You want to fly middle seat on Spirit? Stop dating losers just because they do this with the door,
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe he's a nice guy, or he's love bombing you.
Maybe he's love bombing, or he's a nice guy that you will slowly fall out of love with and then break his heart. Either way, it's a bad ending to the story. Yeah,
but no, like if a guy is like home playing video games, I don't think he has a lot of confidence. So,
usually not.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like if you don't have the confidence, like you're not masculine, then it's not attractive, at least not for me, but I know some girls will fall for it. But that's where it's an issue for me. Like you have to have that dominance to like do that with me, and for me to find it kind of sexy. Yeah.
So you seem like you could be Do you enjoy being in the more dominant role, or would you prefer to be in the submissive role in a relationship?
Submissive.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't like the simps. You want someone who's so masculine that out masculine your alpha energy kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because if not, I feel forced to become dominant if you're not. So, and I don't want to be the one taking charge, especially not in my love life, because I'm not a bossy person, but I know what I want. I know what I like. So for me, like in school, like in any job I've had, I've always been like taking charge. So when I get home, I want someone to take charge there. Because like in my personal life, like or work life, professional life, I always like to take charge. But with my partner, I would like him to take that role and tell me what to do. I don't know why, but I don't find it attractive. It could also be like, because my dad, he's a very dominant person, and like he's always taking care of my mom. He always like knows what to do. Like if she wants to have something changed, he will fix it. Like he's such an amazing person and perfect for my mom, because she likes someone that can take care of her and like help her. And she's very small and petite. My dad is super tall, strong. So like that's kind of what I grew up with as like my role model in a man. Mm-hmm. So it could also be that I'm like, that's just what I expect from a guy, to kind of like do that with me. And I know it's harder with me because my mom is very feminine. I am too, but I need someone to bring it out of me.
Yeah. I think a lot of the problem is like girls are being pushed very hard by society to be very masculine, especially in America. But America kind of culturally diffuses through everything, where everybody, Beyonce, you gotta be queen bee.
Yeah.
You know, Beyonce fucking tricked all of y'all guys. Beyonce is like, all the single ladies, I'm a boss bitch, blah blah blah. Then she married the richest dude. He cheated on her, and then she stayed with him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, she told all y'all, be independent, blah, 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 you run shit, blah, 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 and then she doesn't even do it, and it's kind of crazy.
It's very true.
Yeah. But I do think that there is some, like, biological attraction where there are, like, masculine and feminine roles that, like, probably 80 or 90% of the population would be happiest in those roles. Yeah, there's some girls that are just super fucking masculine. They just want a little simp boy. And there's some simps who just love being a little simp. Yeah. My friend was showing me this TikTok. Have you seen the TikTok, the Love Surge video that went viral?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
It's just like this girl and like her like super simp husband. And she's like, we have these like love surges. And like where they like hug and then they start shaking and then they're like, love surge. And it's like the gayest shit it's something the most cringe shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, that's why I have
not seen. I probably scrolled away the second it started.
Yeah, it was.
I cannot watch that.
It was so cringe.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments was like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But some people, they love those roles.
Some people do.
But I think most people are happy with the guys more of the dominant role, the girls a little more submissive.
Yeah.
And people hear submissive, they think it means like you're like a slave or something. I'm like, it doesn't mean that.
No,
it means
it's
just
not.
like, no, I don't want to make all these decisions and deal with all these problems. I like someone to take care of me. I like being the supportive role.
Yeah.
Like, okay, then also when he's like really stressed out and dealing with all this shit, I can be the one that like helps him and
takes care of him and gives him advice and like listens.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to call myself a feminist before because I disagree with a lot of the things that women that are feminists would say. Mm-hmm. But I am a feminist. I do believe in like that we should have as much power. But I've just seen so many girls wanting to like take over. They don't want it to be equal. They don't want us to make the same amount as men. They want us to make more. They want us to take charge of everything. And it's like, where is it equal? Now it's like you guys just want to reverse the roles. Mm-hmm. And that's why for a long time I was like, I cannot call myself a feminist, because if a guy hits a woman, then he's a wife beater. But if a woman hits a guy, then she's brave. She's standing up for herself. And I don't agree with that. If I keep slapping a guy, hitting him, and he throws one punch at me, I wouldn't blame him. I've been slapping his face for like 10 times in a row. Like, of course he's going to be provoked. Sure, he is physically stronger than me. But then again, women are saying that women can have the exact same job because we can be as physically strong as men. But if a guy slaps you, then it's the other, like, then you're on the other side again and like, no, but a guy is physically stronger. It's like, but you, like, where does it make sense? You say you can lift just as much as a guy. You can have the exact same job because you can be just as strong as a guy. But if he hits you, then he's a wife beater. But if you hit him, you're brave because you're not as strong as him. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense.
To me, it's insane to call somebody brave. Like, I do understand some level of like, hey, if a guy hits a girl, we're just stronger. Like, you're going to do more damage. That's like way more fucked up for sure. But then like, if a girl hits a guy, like, that's still bad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe it's not as bad because you're probably just like slapping them. It's not like you're like leaving a bruise or breaking somebody's jaw or something like that. But it's like, to say that's brave is just insane.
Right?
And you know what's crazier than that?
What?
Now, if you're a girl and you're just being fat, you're brave. This is what people are, slay queen, you're so brave for rocking your body. I'm like, no, brave? Like, don't get me wrong. If a girl's overweight, she's in the gym, she's working at it, I'm like, more power to you.
Yeah.
But if you're just fat and just being praised for being fat, that's insane to me.
Yeah. It's very interesting how, like, I do believe that everyone has the right to have whatever body type they want to. And if you feel comfortable in your own body, that's amazing. And good for you. Like, if you post that, like, that's totally up to you. I don't think there should be a rule that you have to be a certain way to be able to post bikini pictures. But we have to remember that if you want to live a full life, there's certain things you have to do to stay healthy. And if you keep eating cake every night or pizza, you probably won't live that long. And how are you then going to post nice pictures of yourself? Like, showing off your body. Like, I think everyone is beautiful in their own way, absolutely. But I think it's very important to take care of yourself, like your health, and not like, because yes, it's definitely more acceptable to be overweight now. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I just think that we should also focus on staying healthy, because being too skinny is not healthy either. Like, having eating disorders is a very serious thing. And it's not just underweight people that have eating disorder. Overweight people also have eating disorders. So it's like, I just think that as long as you're happy, that's fine.
I'm fine with everybody living their own life, right? And you do you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Where some of it stems from for me. So I dabbled in like club promoting for like 4 months. I hated it.
Wow, you're one of those guys.
Oh, I was. I told you I went full fuckboy mode. I went like all the way.
Yeah, you got to be promoted then for a little bit.
You have to. It's like your initiation process. Yeah. And so many times you like invite a girl out, and I'm like, I'd be like, oh, can I bring a friend? I'm like, oh yeah, what's her Instagram? Actually, I used to not say that. When I started out, I'd just be like, oh, is she cute? Oh, she's beautiful. And then she'd show up. I'm like, she is not beautiful. Like use a different word. Like, she's nice, or she's a great person, or just say she's beautiful on the inside. Because the problem is, and look, it's not my fault. I wouldn't mind if there's like one attractive girl and then like her uglier friend wants to get in. Like, I don't care. But the bouncer does. So then when you try to get in, you're putting your friend in a situation, she's going to get rejected, and then she's going to feel bad. Yeah. And now everybody's just crying, and then I look like the bad guy, and it's like, it's not my fault. You told me she was beautiful. What do you want me to do,
Especially if it's someone that's been out with you several times, and they know the drill. It's like, you set this girl up for failure. Like, you did this to
you put her in this position. What do you think was going to happen?
Yes, this is all you. All on you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's like, back to like physical abuse. Like with women, that's like one thing I feel like has been ignored a lot, is that women has a tendency of mentally abusing guys. And that, I would say, that is just as bad as physically abusing someone. But it's not talked about as much as a guy hitting a woman. Like, women can really abuse someone mentally.
Actually, I think women are probably know how to do it better.
Oh yeah.
Because you guys
100%.
are smart with this shit. Like,
Yeah.
guys will, like, yell and scream, blah, blah, blah. Like...
And girls also know that we can, like, you can say whatever shit you want to say. Because if he hits you, he's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can, over time, break someone down so much. Because, you know, if they hit you, they're going to get a really bad reputation that can fuck up so much for them. So women, we're free to say whatever we want to do. And it should be more focused on that, because it's not fair, because we keep protecting women and not men.
Do you think, too, that some level, like, I'm just trying to think in, like, my own terms, right? If a girl was, like, mentally abusing me, at some point, I think that's just like, yo, I need to stop being a dumbass and staying in this relationship with this girl who's, like, toxic and manipulative.
If she gives you the best head of your life, and like, she's a freak and gives you like the best sex, the best head, but other than that, she's
horrible.
Yes, but every time you want to leave, she'll just give you a head. Because there's ways to hold.
Oh, I know. There's some. It's crazy because people, like, one time it came up in, like, this group conversation. They're like, oh, like, what's, like, the best kind of sex, right? And I was thinking about it, and honestly, this is gonna sound, like, super cheesy. Like, I really think the best sex comes from having, like, a genuine connection with somebody.
Oh, 100%.
Blowjobs, on the other hand, are a completely different story. Blowjobs are about form, technique, attention to detail. Like, it's like the systematic process.
Yeah.
The second best blowjob I ever got, I remember, it was this Japanese girl. And I still remember she, like, got on her knees, and then she stopped. And then she reaches into her purse. And she grabs this little green container, and she opens up the container, and she takes out her Invisalign. Oh. And she puts her Invisalign in so she doesn't use teeth. And she gave me, I was like, this level of attention to detail is unprecedented in the industry. I've never seen it before.
I've never heard about that.
Yeah. And she had really straight teeth.
Huh.
Which made me a little nervous because I was like, how many blowjobs are you giving that your teeth are this straight? I don't know. Kind of sketch.
Okay, does your teeth move if you give a lot of blowjobs?
No, I'm saying because, like, was she using that Invisalign, like, every night that was straightening out her teeth? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that was why they're so straight or if she just, like, was really responsible with her Invisalign. Like, I don't really know.
Who knows?
But that was the second best by far blowjob I ever got.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to get those. Have to have someone remember that for the rest of their lives.
What is some things that guys can do in bed that you like? Or not even, it doesn't have to be in bed. It could be foreplay. It could be. Give some guys some tips on the pod.
Yeah, well, for me, foreplay is not the best. Like, bring a vibrator.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you like toys in the bedroom.
Yeah. Because, like, for me, if a guy goes down on me, like, and gives me, it's not going to work.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't give me much. Like, I had this one guy, he was terrible. It was so bad. So I just pulled him up. I slapped him, and I said that he sucked.
You just talked about mental and physical abuse. You did both of them. You know, he's probably still thinking about that. Am I that bad at sex?
Well, actually, he does. Because he did text me, like, because this happened almost 2 years ago, and he texted me December last year, because he's from Denmark, and I was flying to Norway, and he was like, welcome to Denmark. I'm going to give you the best head of your life. I'm like, we've been through this. Like, it's not going to happen.
Don't lie to me.
He's like, no, I've been, like, watching podcasts, and, like, I know what I'm doing now. I've been practicing. And I'm like, so me telling you sucked at giving head basically motivated you to become better. He's like, yes, I'm gonna prove you, like, that I can do this. I'm like, no.
You're like,
poor guy.
Sorry, rookie. You had your shot.
I don't do second chances. Yeah, like I said, I'm very direct, and depending on who it is, like, if I know they can handle it, then I'll say it. If they annoy me, I can be rude. But if it's someone I know I will break them, I will absolutely not say some shit like that. But I can be very direct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. So all that stuff, like vibrators, like little like light BDSM, tying girls up, handcuffs, that kind of stuff. I didn't start doing it till like probably like my mid-20s.
Yeah.
Because in Wisconsin, like where I grew up, it was like so conservative that nobody ever talked about anything like that. So I remember thinking I would have like fantasies about like BDSM and stuff like that. I literally thought I was like a psychopath or something. I'm having these fantasies about like tying a girl up. Like, what kind of fucking crazy person? I'm like, I need to not tell anybody this ever and not let this fucking get out.
You're like, am I a serial killer?
I know. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, like 80% of girls like to be choked. Like, it's just like, it is what it is. You know, it's just like normal.
Yeah. But I feel like it's very different from girl to girl, like what you like, what you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I like it rough, but I also, depending on like who I'm having sex with and like the energy, sometimes I don't want that, but most like I want you to choke me. I do. And some guys, yes, you can slap me. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's depending on who it is, you can spit in my face. But if it's someone I don't like I'm just a fuck friend, then it's like that can feel a little bit disrespecting if they spit in my face.
You have to really have that trust built up. Kind
of
thing.
Or also just knowing that they do respect me, because then because like I said, I can be very dominant. So if it's someone that I'm not really that comfortable with, then I can feel very disrespected and be like, kind of like take over. But yeah, for me, it's more toys helps me. And also like after I got my nipples pierced, I had no like sensitivity in my nipples until I got them pierced. So now like that shit turns me on if someone plays with my nipples.
Oh, the piercing made it more sensitive.
Yeah, because for me, like I've had friends who got their nipples pierced and then they lost it. I didn't have it in the first place. Like it did nothing for me. So I was like, I have nothing to lose. And luckily for me, like that helped. So that's something I do like as like foreplay. So, yeah.
Interesting.
But that depends on like every girl, like if they like that or not.
Yeah, I find it's like, I feel like it's way easier as a girl because it's just like, you just rub it and it feels good. And then like eventually.
It's not just that.
What do you mean? What do you have to? Okay, I'll give you blowjobs. Blowjobs are like challenging. It's like you have to know a lot of moves. But even like a shitty blowjob, it's like
But the issue is that guys can't even find a clit.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's way harder as a guy. Like, you have to learn what does this girl want? What does this girl want? Like,
I thought you said
the last girl like this, but
I got it. I thought you meant it's easier for girls to like come and like.
Oh no, definitely not.
That's why I was like,
no. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's that's very true.
Yeah.
What?
It's just it's interesting from a guy's perspective, in terms of like making girls come, where it's like there's some girls I can make them come like 10 times in a row, and there's some girls I can't. I'm just like, I don't fucking know what you want. I don't know. Maybe we just don't click on that level. I'm striking out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that there was a study of something about like that there's a certain percentage of girls that actually can have an orgasm every time they have sex, but it's not a lot.
One of my friends, he was talking all this, like he was like the shit, and he was like, yeah, I always make a girl come multiple times. He was like,
oh, they're faking it.
That I know. And he was like, no, I know when they're faking. Trust me. I was like, I don't know. I think he's full of shit.
I hate when guys say that. I know if they're faking it. No, you don't. Because we could literally be actors when we're faking it.
We live in LA. There's so many actors around, you know?
True.
He had this other thing, too, that makes me not trust him from, like, this kind of stuff. So we were, like, at one of my friend's houses. Somehow we're talking about sex or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I need 2 mattresses in my room because I'm, like, that good at sex. And I was like, why would you need 2 mattresses? Just do anything on the first mattress. He's like, no, but certain positions,
no, don't tell
you need the second mattress. And I'm like, not really.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and we're like pressuring more. We're like, what are the positions? He was like, don't worry about it. You'll understand. Like when you like, he was like very much talking about like, once you're as good at sex as I am, you'll understand the positions. Then he was dating this girl, and we found out he has 2 mattresses because he wants to have sex with one and then like sleep on the other one, so you're not sleeping in a dirty mattress. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with your fucking I'm a sex god bullshit. It was just like such like a LA guy, like, oh, I'm the fucking man at everything. It was like such one of those moments. I'm like, no, you're not. Girls definitely have fake orgasms.
Oh yeah, 100. Like, yeah, if anyone tells you they don't, I think they're lying. Because I know with my group of friends, especially in my Norwegian friends, because we are very open about sex. Like, we have no shame. We will go into every single detail. Mm-hmm. And I would say that 9 out of 10 fakes an orgasm almost every time they have sex. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's any different here.
And I don't even care. Yo, if you're a girl, you want to fake an orgasm? Boost
That's
my
the
ego.
thing. Like,
just be a good actor. Don't make it like really like
no,
obvious.
but like girls
like,
should speak up. Girls should not be afraid. If I don't understand why so many girls have the issue to tell a guy like, no, do this, do that. Like some guys will like get their egos hurt and be like, I know what I'm doing, and like start talk against you. But like just keep telling them, because like if not, you're gonna have to live your life without orgasms. That's not fun. Like, you should enjoy sex just as much as the guy. And yeah, girls have to start speaking up, because it's so sad, like living your life and faking orgasms. It shouldn't be like that. And that's not, I don't feel like that's fair for the guy either, because like your friend, he probably thinks he's the best guy ever, and then no, he's not.
Yeah, but you gotta have both of you guys on a podcast. Put him in his place. Yep. Tell him what's up.
I will. 100%.
Perfect. All right. We are over the hour mark. This has been very fun.
Yes.
Last question that we always do as a poll.
Okay.
The green bubble.
Green bubble?
Someone texts you, meet a guy, he texts you, the bubble's green. Is that a positive Android? Or a negative? Yeah. I
don't respond.
We got another vote. We do a vote. He's winning. A lot of girls say he's winning, like, I think it's like 7-11 right now or something. Apparently most girls are like, no, he can have an Android.
No. If my friends who usually it's blue, I will ask if they lost their phone, like, why is your bubble green?
I know.
And then I'll be like, I was about to stop texting you.
I'm like, you're either a scammer, you live in a third world country, or you got your phone from the government. Like, that's what it means if you have an Android.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, bro, we'll chip in. Like, we can start a GoFundMe so you can get an iPhone like an adult.
Literally. No, I don't know what it is. It's not that bad to have. It is that bad. But it's not that bad. But no, I don't want to be associated with you if you have an Android.
All right, this has been fun. Any shout outs you want to give where people can find you or to follow you on Instagram, anything like that?
Sure. My Instagram is MIL96. It's my initials and the year I was born.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, this has been fun. Until next time, we'll have you on round 2 sometime.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Take care, guys.